Woode. That's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. Here I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health and your life, avoid complications, go to the next level. We're creating the life we've always wanted, and we are living limitless lives. I am in the throes. I am excited about what I do. Because you know what I do? I empower people who are tired of where they are when it comes to their health, who want to have success in their health, just like they're having in other parts of their lives. And we are in the business of helping you to show up for those things that are so important in your lives, for the connections, your family, your friends. And in order to do that, you've got to be healthy and you've got to be around. And so that's what I do on a daily basis. I get a chance to step into people's lives and to walk along with them as they are making those choices that are so important in their health. But I'm an endocrinologist by training, and you always hear me say this, Dr. Dwain Woode. That's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. Here I educate, I empower, and I encourage. But I'm so excited that you're here with me, that you're making a choice today for your health. And I'm so excited that we're in this pop up. If you're new to us, go ahead and put new in the comments because we'd love to welcome you with a hand clap and some music. And to let you know that we are glad that you are here. For our community members who've been our regulars, thank you for coming through. A special shout out to our accelerator members who are out there watching. We've got some good things that we're going to take a look at here in just a minute. I've got my meal that I'm going to eat for, this is my last meal before the fast, before we get into our fast today. And if you are fasting with us for this week, sometime at all, whether you're doing a 12 and 12, 16, 8, whether you're doing a 24, 48, 72, or whatever number of hours of fasting you're doing, go ahead and put me in the comments because I want to make sure I give you a shout out to let you know that I'm excited that you are making a choice for your health. Okay. So I've got what I'm going to eat here in just a little while. We'll take a look at. And if you want to go ahead and drop in the comments, I should say if you put me, I want you to drop in the comments what you are eating as your last meal as you are moving into this space. Okay. All right. So a couple of things that I want to say. One, if you have not been with us on our Blueprint series journey so far, you want to make sure that you go back and you watch those episodes. We are in the process of putting together and putting the platform, putting the basis for the things that are going to help carry us through in terms of our health so that we can be successful as we move through the rest of these months, as we move into the new year and the year after that and the year after that. What are we going to be doing that's going to be sustainable and that's going to be successful? And so on our Blueprint series, that's what we've been walking through. So make sure you get over there and make sure you join us if you've not done that yet. Our MOVE campaign is in full force. So this is our metabolic optimization via exercise, a big part of our health action plan, and we have 7 pillars to that. And so walking and fasting, those are two pivotal pillars of the health action plan. And we have a space where you can come along, come aside. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can just come, you can plug in, and you can join us as we move into better and better health. And then, of course, here we've got our fasting. Okay, so notice that at every turn, at every space, there is a component of the health action plan that's being implemented and that is right ready for you to just come and for you to plug in so that you can continue to be successful. If you're pointing people to the channel, if you're coming to the channel, you're new to the channel, or if you just want to get a refresher, on the YouTube channel, there is the Start Here playlist. So I've get a lot of people who are asking, hey, how do I get started with what you're doing? And to start with what we're doing, to start along this journey, you want to jump in and get there to the Start Here playlist. Now, all the other videos that we've done, and if I look at the numbers of videos that we've done there on YouTube, they tell me that we've done over 2,200 videos, over 2,200 videos that are on our channel. So all of those videos are still there. But if you want to get a jump start, go ahead and start here in the Start Here playlist. And then if there's something that you see that's in one of those videos or something that we reference, something we talk about, and you want to go back and you want to watch those episodes, you can still find them on the channel. For example, we've got the Health Action Plan. We've got the Play Your Own Game series. We've got the Finishing Strong series. All of those are, and the Accelerator series as well. All of those are there and very important part of what we do. Okay. All right. So let me go ahead. I'm going to show you what I have as my meal, and then we'll go ahead and continue talking. So let me do that right now. And let's see, let's do this view. Let's do this one. Okay. All right. So here you'll see, actually, let me change that. I'm going to do a little different one. So here you see, so I'm in the lower corner right there, or right here. So here you see part of what I have. So let me start with this. So first I have a steak. Yes, I have a steak. And this steak comes from one of our local restaurants. And it looks pretty good, y'all. I haven't, it smells good. Okay. So the steak actually came with a baked potato and it came with a roll, right, which is in here, which is right here. So, of course, and actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and open this up and just put it on there so you can see what this looks like. All right, so that's what it came with. And might as well go ahead and open the potato as well. I know some of you are looking as like, no, this looks so delicious. Okay, so let's do it this way. So there it is. Okay, so there you go. So steak, potato, and that is a roll. And we'll kind of walk through that here in just a minute, but we're going to make an adjustment to what you see there, because what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of the potato. I'm going to just grab that off of there. We're going to get rid of the roll. And we're going to bring in the other component of what we're going to eat, and that is, because this came with it. So I ordered this specifically. So here is my salad. And as you know, we start with a salad. If you kind of follow most of what you will see me, most of the things I start with is a salad. And the salad is important because it gives me a lot of components, which we'll talk about in a minute. But this is basically what we're going to have. And I'm going to get rid of, I'm going to get rid of those croutons. So let me go ahead and let's see what's the easiest way to do that. Let's get rid of this. There's a crouton there. Let me get this off to the side. Bring this in a little bit better. Let's get rid of that crouton. And here's another crouton. And it's not, now notice there's nothing wrong with croutons. So I'm not croutons, right? But I know what happens to my blood sugars when I eat the croutons. And so, and then the other thing I'm going to get rid of these onions because I'm about to go see some patients, and I'm sure they do not want to see me after eating all those onions. Okay, so this is the salad that we're going to have. That's the salad that we're starting with. And I've got some, let's see, some dressing that we're going to put on there in just a minute. And so why don't we do that right now? And this is ranch dressing. So go ahead and drop that on. Right. And I actually have another one that came from, and I don't have my normal dressing that I like from one of our local places here, but I'm going to go ahead and use this ranch. Now, I do have some other dressing that came from another place, which we won't use, and I'm going to cover up the name. Right, so this is the other one. You can probably tell where it's from, but I won't use that one because I think there's enough ranch right there. Okay, and then, of course, we have for the pièce de résistance, we've got our steak. Right, so we've got our salad and we've got our steak. So let's walk through that a little bit. And while I do that, I'm going to go ahead. Before I do that, I mean, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put up our balanced bites Actually, you know what? Let me do this before I even get there. I'm going to bring myself back up on the screen. There we go. And let's say hello to some of our community members. Um, and I see Cornelia. Cornelia says, hey, doctor and everyone. Sorry, that's Teresa. Teresa said that. Hey, doctor and everyone. And Cornelia is saying, hey, Dr. Teresa and LLG. And then, of course, Cornelia says, yum. Cornelia always likes when I have steak. But yeah. So let's go ahead now, and I'm going to put up our balanced bites. So if you're new to us and if you've not seen that before, this is the meal plan. When we talk about how we eat, this is what we're looking for, right? This is balanced bites, and it is the way that we think about food. Now, it is not a meal plan. It is not a diet. It is our thought process about food. Whenever we're processing food, this is how we should be thinking about it, okay? So balanced bites, whole foods first, minimize processed foods, no added sugar, lean protein and healthy fats, starchy and non-starchy vegetables, leaning more towards the non-starchy vegetables, tasty and flavorful, and we want it to be portion controlled, okay? So that is the concept of balanced bites that we want you to be thinking about whenever you are thinking about food. So it is not a list of foods that you need to avoid or a list of foods that you have to eat. It is whenever I'm sitting and I'm thinking about the food I'm going to eat, this is what should be running through my mind as I'm surveying that. This is very important for people who travel a lot. But actually, I shouldn't say people who travel. It's important for everyone. But as you're looking at food, you want to be able to kind of process it in that way. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's get back over here and get back to our meal. So I can jump in and start having some of this, y'all, because it looks so good. All right, so here I am. So that's me. And then let's go ahead and get the salad off to the side. All right, so let's walk through the salad. And so with balanced bites in mind, so whole foods. And so if I look at, maybe I can put both of these together. Here we go. So if I look at what's on the screen, right, we're looking at whole foods. And what I'm wanting to make sure is that the food is as close as possible to when it was created or when it was grown. Okay. So looking through the salad, there's some cheese in there somewhere. And of course, the dressing is not whole foods. The steak, of course, is whole foods. Minimize processing. Once again, the salad dressing, the croutons that were in there, and I think I still see one over there, and the cheese, those are processed. No added sugar. And once again, dressing probably has sugar, some sugar in it. Sugar, lean protein, and healthy fats. Of course, we got my lean protein over there, which is my steak. Healthy fats, some cheese in this thing somewhere under there. Lean protein, healthy fats, starchy and non-starchy vegetables. So not any starchy vegetables here. Most of this is non-starchy. Tasty and flavorful, because I'm anticipating it's going to be good, and portion controlled. Okay, so those are the components of balanced bites. And so I'm gonna go ahead and start biting into some of this. Let's get the salad off here so you can see. And let's start with some cucumber and let's do some lettuce. All right, here we go. Mm, mm, Yo, this is good. Mhm. Very, very good. Let me see. Let me change over to change my view so you can see me as I'm enjoying it because it. So I love ranch dressing. There's a place here in town that I get my ranch dressing from, and they also have horseradish dressing. So sometimes I'll combine those, and that just hits the spot. And just this, even without having that extra component, tastes so good. So why do I start with a salad? I start with a salad because the salad gives me bulk. It helps me feel fuller longer. It blunts the absorption of any carbs or sugars that I may eat because the fiber does that. It slows the GI tract once again. It is tasty and flavorful. So I can do anything with a salad, y'all. I can add, well, I shouldn't say anything because I can add whatever I want to this salad, right? I can have a chicken salad, chicken Caesar salad. I can have a chicken. This is a garden salad. I can put it on top. Of course, I have steak that I can put on top of that. If you like salmon, you like any kind of fish, you can add that there as well. If you like tofu, if you're vegetarian or vegan, you guys have seen me add nuts on top of this. So I really can make a salad taste as good as I want it to taste. I can add as many things to it that I want as long as I'm keeping this concept of balanced bites in mind. And so that's the beauty of balanced bites because it is not restrictive. It just says, I've got to think about my food in a certain way. But it allows me to eat and enjoy the stuff that I like. And right now, this is so good. There was some onions right there. That's okay. Oh, delicious, delicious. So what are you eating as your last meal? As you get into this fast, this week's fast. So, why fasting? Fasting is one of the pillars of our health action plan. 7 pillars, simple. We don't need superhuman strength. All we need is a strategy we can trust, a plan we can follow, and the support, determination, and the willingness to show up and keep going. Right? That's it. And so fasting is a free, accessible, anybody, aside from a few caveats, can fast. You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to think about any special recipes. Guess what? It's fasting. You're not putting anything in. It's free. It's right there. You can do it. And the beauty about it is that fasting attacks so many of the underlying issues that we see when it comes to metabolic dysfunction. Okay? All right, so I'm gonna move this over and go ahead and get my steak in there. All right, let's get some of that. Let's see. Trying to do this as simply as possible, and I'm trying to eat around y'all. I'm trying to cut this around the camera. I'm gonna have an overhead camera that makes this much simpler. But hey, this is what we got. Let's see. Oh, that looks so good. Ready? Ready? First bite. First bite. Mm. Yo. That is delicious. Cornelia, you still there? Mm. This next bite I'm gonna have just for you. Okay? Here we go. Here we go. No, this bite right here is for Cornelia. If I can get it cut. That's all right. Here we go. All right, here we go. This is yours, Cornelia. Mm. Delicious. Mm. Let's go ahead and get this back over here. So why do we fast? Because fasting can reset the metabolism. Why do we fast? Because fasting improves our insulin sensitivity. Why do we fast? Because fasting helps us to burn stored fat. Why do we fast? Because fasting can help us to lower our blood sugars. Why do we fast? Because fasting has the potential to help us with mental clarity, because we have those ketones that are coming, beta hydroxybutyrate, brain-derived natriuretic factor, miracle grow for the brain. Why do we fast? Because fasting activates autophagy. Autophagy is the body's cleanup process so that we have the ability to scavenge and take broken, unused, damaged, misshapen, dysfunctional cells, and we send those out for recycling, and we bring them back, and they are much better at what they do. We fast because it improves our energy and our focus, and it is a way for us to reset our hormonal milieu, get our bodies back in homeostasis. So that's why we fast. And we do that here on a weekly basis. So if you've been dabbling, if you've been thinking, hey, I'm not sure about this fasting, I want to try it, but hey, I don't know if I should, this is the place you want to be, because this community, we fast on a weekly basis. You come, you get to see, like, that's what I'm eating right now. All right, follow us as we do our pop-ups tomorrow. We'll do our check-in tomorrow night. Pop up on Thursday, check in Thursday night at 56 hours, and then we do a complete review of fasting on Friday, where we talk about how to prepare for the fast, how to get through the fast successfully, and what happens in your body, and then how to end that fast. And you get to see what I eat for the first time after 24 hours of fasting. Okay? So make sure that you come on back and make sure you help and you join us as we go through this process. I'm going to have, hey, here we go. I'm going to get this salad off the table, off the. I'm gonna have me another piece of the steak. Let's see. Let's get over here. Doesn't that look good, y'all? I gotta get a different knife, but that's okay. That is so delicious. All right, here we go. Here we go. Mm-hmm. I can't tell you how good that tastes. But here you have it. My last meal as we get into this week's fast. Join me tomorrow as we do our pop-up. And by the way, if you're fasting this week, make sure you put me. Cornelia says, yes, I'm here. She said, I'm crying. Where's Pam when I need her? And then Cornelia says, oh my God. OMG. All right. So make sure you join us. Make sure you come through. Make sure you hang out with us. And you see, we have fun. We have fun here in the community. Always excited when our community members come by and are able to hang out with us. Need so that they can continue to be successful with their health. Okay, so come on back, hang out with us tomorrow as we do our pop-up live. Be with us and do our check-ins tomorrow night, and we move through the rest of this week. Hey, this is Dr. Dwain Woode. That's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health and your life, avoid complications, go to the next level. We're creating the life we've always wanted, and we are living limitless lives. And my goal is to help you to have the success in your health like you're having in other areas of your life so that you can show up for the things that are so important for you, show up for those connections that you have, for those most important places, those most important things that are happening, the connection with your family and with your friends. So thank you for coming through. We look forward to seeing you and the rest of the community. Go ahead and watch this week's videos to catch up on where we are. And if you're coming, want to get started, go ahead and watch the Start Here videos. All right, everybody, have a great one.